Hot on the heels of the RTX 4080 upgrade news from GeForce Now comes over 20 games being added to the GeForce Now library in January, some of which, like Portal with RTX, is optimized to really showcase that RTX 4080 goodness. So let's crack on, take a look at the 20 plus games coming to GeForce Now in January. Kicking off with the titles landing this week, we have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Game Complete Edition. This is a new release available now via Steam. Scott Pilgrim is back. Rediscover the beloved 2D arcade-style beat-em-up inspired by the iconic comic book series and the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World in this complete edition. Play as your favourite characters, Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, Knives Chow, Steven Steels and more. Team up with 3 of your friends as you battle your way through waves of tough enemies to defeat the League of Evil X, in the name of love of course. Share health and coins, compete in minigames like dodgeball and challenge each other to an epic last one standing duel. Carrier Command 2, also on Steam, is a real-time strategy game that puts you in command of a futuristic carrier capable of deploying a vast array of aircraft and amphibious units. Compete against AI or human players and hop into every single vehicle to take matters into your own hands. Project Hospital now, also on Steam. One for real-time strategy fans. Project Hospital is a 2018 business simulation game developed and published by Czech studio Oxymoron Games. Players are tasked with building and operating a hospital and treating patients' illnesses accordingly. Knock yourself out, real-time strategy fans. Now we have Portal with RTX. This is going to be available on Steam. And as I said, this is something to really showcase the new RTX 4080 tier. Portal with RTX is a free DLC for all Portal owners, developed by NVIDIA Lightspeed Studios. Experience the critically acclaimed and award-winning Portal reimagined with ray tracing. Every frame of gameplay is upgraded with stunning full ray tracing, new handcrafted high-res physically based textures, and new enhanced high poly models evocative of the originals, all in stunning 4K. In Portal with RTX, full ray tracing transforms each level, enabling light to bounce and be affected by the scene's geometry and materials. Every light is ray traced and casts shadows. Global illumination indirect lighting naturally illuminates and darkens rooms. Volumetric ray trace lighting scatters through fog and smoke, and shadows are pixel perfect. And you, if you've got the new Ultimate Tier, get to experience all this in the best way possible. Severed Steel now, and this one's on Epic Games Store. It's a single-player FPS featuring a fluid stunt system, destructible voxel environments, loads of bullet time, and a unique one-armed protagonist. I'm getting real super hot vibes off this game. It's you, your trigger finger, and a steel-toed boot against a superstructure full of bad guys. Chain together wall runs, dives, flips, and slides to take every last enemy down. Key features in this are a one-armed fighter. You play as Steel, a one-armed gunslinger fighting for revenge. There's no reloading. Pick your shots well and be ready to pry a loaded weapon from your enemy's cold, dead hands. There's stylish combat where you dodge bullets, leap off walls, slide kick, throw weapons, do whatever it takes to come out on top in an intense and frenzied firefights. You've got a fully destructible environment as you pepper through plaster with sharp 4.7mm rounds, punch through thick concrete with .5 caliber slugs, or make big holes in things with your arm cannon. All of these should be available from this week. And then later in the month we have Farlanders. This is a brand new release on Steam on January the 17th. This is an indie gem here, and it's a Martian turn-based city builder, including how to effectively use resources and much more. In Farlanders, you use specialized tools to terraform the planet, build residential areas for your colonizers, and construct resource-producing factories in an effort to become a self-sustaining society. Terraforming tiles have preset shapes, so be careful when configuring where to place them. You may end up with ice if you place a water drop tile on the flat ground instead of a canyon. And it doesn't stop there with the Mars theme. With 2 days later, we have Occupy Mars the Game, also a new game on Steam on January the 19th. Survive and colonize Mars in a highly technical open-world sandbox game. Build and upgrade your base, discover new regions, conduct mining operations, retrieve water, generate oxygen, grow crops, and fix broken parts. You know the score. And the brand new games keep arriving on January the 26th in the form of Grimstar, Crystals Are the New Oil, which is a new game on Steam from Valkyrie Initiative. Again, we have another real-time strategy game here from Grimstar. Build your base, again, in a hostile environment, train your army, gather resources, defend your mining operations. The more you mine, the more hostile the alien environment will become. Your ultimate goal is to completely colonize the uncharted world. You know, I'm seeing a theme here. Watch Dogs Legion is new on Steam from January the 26th. Now, obviously, this was previously available via Ubisoft and is the most recent Watch Dog release from 2020. It's time to take back London, and anyone you see in this iconic city can be recruited to your resistance. Corrupt opportunists have taken over, and it's up to you to build resistance to give the city back to the people. With an entire population of potential recruits and the city's technology at your fingertips, you'll need to hack, infiltrate, and fight your way to liberate London. Welcome to the resistance. And yes, London is exactly like this. Time for a completely different vibe now as we go old school Japanese arcade with this mashup of Raiden IV versus MIKADO remix. It's a brand new game on Steam from January the 31st. Buckle up and blast off with Raiden IV vs MIKADO remix. Classic arcade shoot 'em up comes fully equipped with new music. This classic arcade shoot 'em up comes fully equipped with new music, battle modes, vertical screenplay, and more. I tell you what, it's worth it for the music, IMO. A sci-fi shoot 'em up for the ages. Raiden 4 X MIKADO remix combines the original arcade experience with modern day features, allowing this series to perform like never before with a remastered soundtrack, vertical screenplay, new battle modes, and more. It's time to take off and take 'em down. I really must buy one of those arcade cabinets for my house. This is giving me those vibes. Please consider contributing to the channel, folks, to make my dream come true. Absolute Drift now, which will be out on Steam. One for the physics-based racing game fans, if that's a thing. In Absolute Drift, you will master the art of drifting, practice your skills in free roam, and compete in drift events such as Drift Ghana and mountain drifting. You can drive and customize up to 6 drift cars. There's 3 game modes, 5 free roaming areas, each with unique levels and themes from airports and docks to a floating metropolis. Online leaderboards, replays and ghost cars. View your friends' runs, all the best in the world. 3+ hours of clean drum and bass and electronic music by C41 and Night. Bit of witchcraft now with Blacktail, both on Steam and Epic Games Store. In Blacktail, you play as Yaga, a 16-year-old girl accused of witchcraft and expelled from her medieval settlement following the mysterious disappearance of her twin sister and lifelong protector, Zora. When living memories of your past return as foul walking spirits, you are left with no other option than to hunt them down in the hopes of unraveling your own mystery. It has a real ephemeral soundtrack to this one and beautiful visuals. Cygnus Enterprises is next up, coming to Steam in January. One for Stardew Valley fans here, possibly. Cygnus Enterprises combines ARPG and management simulation elements to create an incredibly unique experience. This sci-fi game aims to be a lighter title than many of the post-apocalyptic space set titles of recent years, set on a lush alien planet called Mytilus, where players build up a base. The game comes from Team Myozi, a team consisting of many industry veterans who've worked on titles like the Far Cry series, Total War, and Sea of Thieves. And according to Screen Rant, players are charged with repairing a Cygnus Enterprise outpost. making it habitable while also driving up its profits. Players will need to go on combat missions to gather resources, which they'll in turn bring back to the base to create better buildings and gear for future missions, creating a satisfying gameplay loop that will be interwoven with a narrative about the corporation. And more Mars stuff now, or rather Mars Comes to Earth this time, with Destroy All Humans on both Steam and Epic Games Store, and Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Destroy All Humans is an open-world action-adventure video game franchise that is designed as a parody of Cold War-era alien invasion films. In Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, experience a completely remade version of the cult classic, with an expanded arsenal, an improved saucer, and much more open world, and a fully playable story in local co-op. Why wait to probe another day when you can grab your license to probe right now? Dwarf Fortress also comes to Steam this month from Kitfox Games, which is a two-man development team. Brothers, described as the deepest, most intricate simulation of a world that's ever been created. The legendary Dwarf Fortress, now on Steam. Build a fortress and try to help your dwarves survive against a deeply generated world. Not just generated geometry, a whole simulated world. Generated rise and falls of civilizations, personalities, creatures, cultures, etc. There is infinite hours of gameplay with this one. Also on Steam this month, we see the Eternal Cylinder. In the Eternal Cylinder, players control a herd of adorable creatures called Trebhums and must explore a strange alien world filled with exotic life forms and surreal environments, all whilst the constant threat of the Cylinder, a gargantuan rolling structure of ancient origin which crushes everything in its path, looms. This is a unique alien ecosystem and has real-time world destruction, animal AI, exploration, puzzle design, all combined to deliver an unforgettable adventure. Your Trebhums begin at the bottom of the food chain, but can mutate and evolve new physical attributes and abilities. Time to get your creep on now. Yep, it's Hello Neighbor 2, both on Steam and Epic Games Store. Yeah, it's creepy neighbor time. Hello Neighbor 2 is the stealth horror game about digging up your creepy neighbor's secrets. But there's a twist. Each neighbor is controlled by advanced AIs. Can you outsmart the neighbors and find out what they're hiding? I found the original game creepy as hell. But now, more neighbours, but with added AI. Oh my lordy. Immortal Phoenix Rising comes to Steam, previously available on Ubisoft. Now, I originally played this on Stadia when it was on Ubisoft Connect, and now it's coming to Steam, so this is great to see. It's a great game, and some people get a real Breath of the Wild vibe from this one. Immortals Phoenix Rising is a fresh and witty take on the open world action-adventure genre, featuring dynamic action, combat and stories inspired by Greek mythology. Roam freely across a beautifully stylized world and use extraordinary abilities gifted by the gods against fearsome mythological monsters. Treacherous trials, heroic feats, and the very underworld itself await your bravery. There's lots of puzzling and adventuring in this one. Completely different vibe. Next, we have MX vs ATV Legends on Steam. Sometimes you just need some mindless dirt bike racing. Well, here you go. It's time to throttle up. Yeah, it's time to become a legend. MX vs ATV Legends does exactly what it says on the tin. Career or trials modes, single or multiplayer, MX or ATV. You just choose your own path and you race your way to victory. NEBULOUS Fleet Command comes to Steam this month. Tactical simulation time again, where you take command of a hand-tailored fleet of space warships in NEBULOUS Fleet Command. Featuring a realistic radar, advanced movement controls, and precision targeting. It's up to you to outmaneuver your opponents in this tactical simulation space game. Next up we have Rain World, again on Steam, where you are a slug cat. A what? A slug cat, of course. You are a nomadic slug cat, both predator and prey, in a broken ecosystem. Grab your spear and brave the industrial wastes, hunting enough food to survive. But be wary. Other bigger creatures have the same plan, and slug cats look delicious. The round worldview is full of danger, and you must face it alone. Find your family before death finds you in this gorgeous survival platformer inspired by the simplicity of 16-bit classics. Can you survive Rain World? It's a beautiful looking game again, but slug cat? Really? Oh, it's medieval time now. Yes, the Valiant on both Steam and Epic Games Store this month. Only you can stop your former brother-in-arms, a Crusader knight, corrupted by an ancient artifact. Command your units, use their skills, and gain experience over the course of an epic single-player campaign with 15 handcrafted missions, as well as cooperative or competitive multiplayer modes. Embark on a journey of brotherhood and redemption in The Valiant, a squad-based RTS set in 13th century Europe and the Middle East. Command and level up your medieval knights as you fight through an epic SP campaign. Then take your skills online in both cooperative and competitive multiplayer modes. Way of the Hunter now, also on Steam and Epic Games Store this month. It's time to go hunting, if that's your thing. Get in your car, grab your binoculars. Here you see a beautiful male Sevus elephus. A red deer stag is waiting for you. Explore a lush forest as you track, stalk, and finally face your prey in Way of the Hunter. No animals were harmed in the making of this. So there you go, an epic month for GeForce Now in terms of upgrades and announcements and a whole shed load of games. Many of these from THQ Nordic, interestingly enough. Which game are you most looking forward to in January? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you like the video, then please hit the likes because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content just like this. And if you are new here, do me the great honor, arigato gozaimasu, hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with content like this. And if you like content like this, why don't you check out the videos over here? These ones, you can see them. These ones here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you around very, very soon.